After 3 years of living in Dubai, trying out many different areas, I have now finally decided what is going to be the area where I at least believe I'm going to live long term. You might have seen already in some previous videos, but the area of choice where I have now bought property, this home where I'm in right now, is Dubai Creek Harbour. So in this video, I'm going to tell you why Dubai Creek Harbour is, in my opinion, at least as of this point, the best area for long-term living, why I have chosen this specific area to live myself, why I have not actually decided to live in areas like Dubai Marina, Palm Jumeirah, downtown, that are usually the more popular areas in Dubai that most people know about, and why also I think this area could actually be a great option as a long-term investment. So to give you a backstory, essentially when I came back to Dubai in August from my travels in the summer, I was ready to buy a property, but I wasn't really yet sure which area I actually wanted to buy this property in. So when I first arrived here, I actually stayed in a couple of different areas to try them out, to see where I might actually want to stay. And one of those areas was this area right here, Dubai Creek Harbour. And I very quickly came to the realization that this area is simply much better for me than any of the other ones. When I am here, I literally didn't want to leave. The vibes here are just so nice. So through trying out many different areas, I came to the conclusion that Dubai Creek Harbour was where I wanted to live for a couple of reasons. And in a nutshell, essentially Dubai Creek Harbour to me offers the best of both worlds when it comes to a lot of the other areas like Dubai Marina and downtown without a lot of the downsides. So I already made a video previously on why I left Dubai Marina. Dubai Marina was the area where I lived for like 2 years of the 3 years where I've lived in Dubai, but there's a couple of downsides there that actually pushed me away from that area. However, there are still a lot of positives, which are still reasons why I think it is a great area. For example, I really like the waterfront living in Dubai Marina, that you have water around. Not that I go to the beach that much, but like I just like being around water. I like to go for walks along the marina. It's just super nice. It is a very lively area. It has a lot of nice restaurants, a lot of things to do and things like that. And the vibes there are just great. However, the downsides is that it's super touristy and the traffic can be absolutely insane and is also quite far from a lot of different places. However, in Dubai Creek Harbour, I realized I essentially get a lot of those benefits. It's waterfront living, has a lot of amazing restaurants, it's fully built by Emar, so it has a very consistent feel, and the community is just super well designed here, except it doesn't have any of those downsides. It is not touristy. It is sort of at the sweet spot where it is very lively, but it's not like crowded. It has a nice feeling. There's a lot of people walking outside, but it's mostly residents. It's not tourists. The traffic, at least so far, is not bad here at all. You never get stuck here. Now, maybe sometimes when you're leaving the area, going to like downtown or something like that, that highway can get quite packed. But in Marina, literally, like it might take you like 20 minutes just to exit the area. And if you talk about downtown, I like downtown specifically because it's close to so many things. You have Dubai Mall, you have so many luxury restaurants there, and that's essentially like the heart of Dubai. However, the downsides are again quite similar. It is very touristy, it is very heavy in traffic, and that was actually one of the areas where I was looking at properties when I was considering Dubai. But in the end, like it didn't feel like home for a lot of those same reasons. Whereas in Dubai Creek Harbour, it feels like home. I don't have a lot of those downsides, but it's still very close to downtown. So whenever I want to go to Dubai Mall, which is not that often, but often enough where going there from the marina was quite annoying, I'm still very close. It's only 15 minutes away from here. However, I don't have to deal with the traffic, the tourists, and all the business in a daily basis. So it felt like a sweet spot for me to live here. This is really an area that feels like home. The vibes here are just unmatched in a lot of Dubai. You get the waterfront living. Sure, you don't get a beach, you don't get beach clubs, but I don't really go to the beach that often anyway, so for me that's not an issue. But you get like the vibes and the smell of the water. There's like a nice marina where you can walk around, bunch of amazing restaurants, everything like that. And there's like a central park in like the Creek Island where at night there's a lot of like kids running around, people are playing football and things like that. It's just a very nice community vibe here. One thing which I've realized in general is that wherever you are, the main thing that makes you either enjoy or not enjoy where you are is simply the vibes. It's like this very subjective feeling that you have when you are in that city or even in that area. And in Dubai especially, the vibe really differs based on the area where you are. And in this area right here, the vibes are simply undefeated. It just feels nice. I can't really describe it. Maybe in these video clips you can see a little bit, but it just feels nice to be here, and that's the main reason I like being here. Just look at this, it's so nice. You have the water, it's like nice and clean. You have a greenery around, buildings which have like a very consistent nice feel to them because it's all built by MR. It's all very new. Look at the people here, it's all very nice. I just really like the vibes here. It's a very like polished, luxurious vibe, but not luxurious in like an in-your-face kind of way, like Palm Jumeirah or something like that. Just like a polished kind of upscale kind of feeling. And when you like look at the people who live here and things like that, like it feels like an upscale kind of area. It is also walkable. So the Creek Island itself, which is like the finished part of Dubai Creek Harbour, is not that big, but it's still big enough where you can go for like an hour-long walk, which I like to do quite a lot of the time. There's a lot of amazing restaurants, and what's nice about the area is that it's all built by MR, and MR actually also has very high standards for the kinds of restaurants and establishments that they let to essentially rent in this area. So if you're a restaurant wanting to set up in Dubai Creek Harbour, you need to obviously apply from MR that you're allowed to rent that space, and they have very high requirements for the kinds of restaurants that they allow in this area because they want to maintain this area as a very upscale kind of area. And in terms of things you have access to, you have pretty much everything you need. This is the barber that I go to, as well as a Spinneys grocery store over there. It does get quite busy though. One thing which they do not have here though is a commercial gym. That's actually a very important thing to note. So if you're choosing to stay in one of these buildings, make sure to check the gym beforehand if you are someone who goes to the gym. It was a big reason why I chose the building that I ended up choosing, because it actually had a good enough gym where I can work out. They do usually have decent gyms, but not all of them do, so that is something to keep in mind in this area. I hope they build a commercial gym here in the future. And I like that it is close to everything without being like in the heart of things. Like whenever I need to go do something, like I needed to go do a medical test for my golden visa, it's in the IFC within like a 20-minute drive. Dubai Mall, obviously, again, 15 to 20-minute drive away. You have the old town that's quite close. Like anything you need to do, you can do it like within basically 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes if you're in peak rush hour. It feels very family oriented as well. So many families here. Yesterday, actually, it was Halloween, and they had like a big Halloween event in the central park of Dubai Creek Harbour. Like there were so many kids in costumes, and like it just feels like a homey vibe. Like it's difficult to explain. So that's why I've decided to live here, and I've also actually decided to buy a property here, and it is the property where I am in right now. After it is all furnished and everything like that, I'm gonna show it to you. By the way, if you can hear like a slight echo, if the quality of the sound in this video isn't that good, it's because it is still quite empty. I've only just literally moved here. But I didn't just buy property because I wanted to live here. Obviously, I could also just rent here and buy a property somewhere else to rent it out. But I bought specifically because I also believe that it could, and this is not investment advice, don't listen to me, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but it could also come out to be a very good investment. And there's one particular reason for it, and that is that MR and Dubai are really heavily investing into this area. They want this area to be the new downtown. That's how they're like marketing it. Obviously, that doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but there's a lot of focus on building this area. And actually what's interesting is that the part of Dubai Creek Harbour that is finished now, which is the Creek Island, is only a very small portion of the plan that they have for this area. So the finished part is what you can see here. This is Dubai Creek Harbour right now where I am living, but over here on the left you can see the entire plan of what this area is going to be. They have the Creek Tower in the middle that they are at least supposed to build here. I think it's been delayed quite a lot and things like that. It's going to be a super big mall here. This is going to be like a very big area, and if all these plans materialize, this is going to be like almost a new center in Dubai. There's going to be so much things here, and that could mean that property values are going to go up here substantially. Now, in the short term, or if you're looking for like rental yields or something like that, I don't think it's the best area at all. So if you're purely looking for an investment and you want to get returns like in the next couple of years, I don't think this is a good investment at all. I bought here because I want to live here, and if I hold it for a very long time, I could see some very high returns. And because I bought in the Creek Island, which in the future, when Dubai Creek Harbour is really big, then this is still going to be the most desirable part of the area, probably because it has that waterfront, it's facing the downtown. But again, this is not investment advice at all. This always depends on your specific situation. I was specifically looking for a place where I want to live, and then if I can buy a place to live that is also potentially a great investment, then that is essentially just a nice bonus. And in general, I bought in Dubai not because I specifically wanted to buy, I wouldn't have an issue with renting, but because it actually makes sense to buy here as well. The numbers simply make sense. And I made a previous video where I explained that in more detail, and I was actually able to work with a super good agent who was able to show me places that I might not even have considered if I was just trying to do this on my own. So if you actually want to buy property here yourself, you can actually work with the same agent who I work with. They're from GenZone, the company that I partnered with for the longest time on this channel, but I use them myself and the service is absolutely amazing. So if you're interested to buy property here, you can talk to the same agent who I worked with from the first link down below in the description. You can just book a free consultation. You can explain kind of what you're looking for and they can take it from there. So this is essentially where I am now going to be living. I'm going to be living in this apartment right here. I'm going to be making much more videos about this apartment. I'm going to be showing it to you. I'm going to be talking about the process of buying here, any updates I have that I learned about living here. I'm going to talk about the costs and the fees and the whole process of buying property, which was a whole process. So definitely subscribe for all of those things. Now, when I was looking for properties here in Dubai Creek Harbour, as well as in downtown and also in some other areas, I actually documented this on this channel. So if you want to see what kind of places I was looking at, what kind of prices apartments are going for here, you can watch this video right here. I think it will give you a good idea. So watch that video next and I will see you in the next video.